Hello, in this playlist I will explain step by step the theory that you need to know for your private pilot license. But first I would like to tell you that I'm not a native speaker and therefore I want you to ignore mistakes in grammar or pronunciation. I try to do my best. Today I would like to start with the Aeronautical Radio Service and the basics of the aviation. Let's start with the general information about the radio. The Aeronautical Radio Service is a communication between a pilot and a pilot, or between a pilot and the tower. For radio communication, you need a radio certificate. This is also the base for an ATPL, CPL, PPL or LAPL. The speaking groups are clearly defined in the Aviation Handbook, short AIP. The AIP has three parts: general, en route and aerodromes. Every radio station at the ground has its own frequency, for example, Hamburg Tower with 1 to 6.850 MHz. The aviation radio is amplitude modulated, which means that the quality of the connection is worse than that of a frequency modulated connection. But radio messages can still be understood with a significantly higher range. Their frequency range reaches from 117.975 MHz to 137.000 MHz. A binding 8.33 kHz grid has been available since 2018. This corresponds to the distance between the individual channels. Each radio station has its own call sign. Two examples: Delta Echo Tango Juliet Papa is an aircraft registration, and Hamburg Tower is the name of the airport plus the type of the station. The aircraft registration, that means the call sign, and many other shortcuts and information on radio are spoken in the NATO alphabet. The NATO alphabet isn't difficult. It would not be A, B, C, but Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Then we have two special cases with numbers. The English 3 is called Tri, and the English 9 is called Niner. This has the simple reason for this that otherwise you might only hear a crack. The radio procedure. Of course, it is very important to speak clearly and in an appropriate tone of voice. Irrelevant statements are not permitted. A call sign must be given at the beginning of each radio message, for example, Hamburg Tower, Delta Echo Alpha Bravo Charlie, hello. This call sign may only be abbreviated if the ground station abbreviated first. The abbreviation is always the first letter and the last two. In our example, Delta Bravo Charlie. Leaving or changing the frequency must be reported or approved. The exception is at the parking position. We have different stages of ground radio stations. We separate the controlled airport and the uncontrolled airfield. Each station has its own specific frequency. First, I want to show you the stations of the controlled airport. The lowest level is the apron. Here is controlled the whole movement on the apron. Above is the ground, with the air traffic control on the taxiway area. The most well-known and also the most important for you is the tower with the movement control in the radius of the airport. For flying according to visual flight rules, short VFR, the radar is actually not so important, so I will not explain this further. Let's take a look at the right side of the uncontrolled airfield. There it looks clearly simple. We only have the so-called info, which may not give you any clearances, but only information about, for example, the wind and traffic information. You will therefore never hear the sentence Delta Echo Alpha Bravo Charlie, cleared for takeoff, runway 05. The top level here is the information, with the so-called Flight Information Service, short FIS. This can give you weather data from airfields and other information. Yes, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next part about the traffic pattern or traffic circuit. I would be very happy if you would appreciate my work by subscribing. If you have any further questions, please post them into the comments and I will try to help you.